And we are live with the semifinal matchup of the Challengers Cup featuring the Papis facing off against Losing Road. And this is a bit of a throwback to last year's Challengers Cup right here. Papis, we're a pretty top 8 team alongside Losing Road. So I'm a bit excited to see this one happen, Shadow Boy.
I mean, yeah, it's always exciting to watch two top teams from last year play off against each other. It's more exciting, at least for me, to see some of the same people on the same team, because it means that their synergy, it means that their experience as a group has only progressed since we last saw them. A lot of times you see roster apocalypse or things like that as soon as the season ends, but anytime you can anytime you can see some players stay together, it's always nice to see. But Susano made it through the bans and picks.
And Raijin, too. For the first time today, Raijin and Susano get through in the same game and are both locked in as the first 2 picks.
I mean, respectively so. I mean, Raijin, of course, is a very strong character in team fights, as well as hard to deal with in the earlier games. Susano, just a powerful character by himself. I don't know what to say here. I mean, the Papis and Losing Road have let through so many characters that I wouldn't expect to see. I mean, even Khepri is available at this moment.
It looks like they're ready to bring out so many big guns in this game that I'm a little bit excited already, a little bit more than excited already here, as we see Ram potentially being hovered on as a pick as well. Khepri locked in for sure there for the Papis, and now Ram looks to be their AD carry, and there we go. A powerhouse locked in for all 3 roles, and now for the Papis. Whereas Losing Road, you have an incredibly powerful comp already, and I'm looking forward to see what their third pick to solidify that will be.
All right, taking a step back from the excitement of this draft so far, the Papis are starting to line themselves up with a pretty consistent early to late game team composition. I mean, this is a team comp so far that has a lot of tools it just needs. It doesn't have, anything too reliant on one end or the other. Now, again, that's going to really depend on what they elect to do with their mid lane choice, as well as their solo lane pick, assuming that Susano is not going to be this magical solo lane pick. At least I don't think he would be. So Nemesis locked in on the side of Losing Road. We get into our next stage of bans. And speaking of Losing Road, they've drafted themselves a pretty bursty team composition of their own. I mean, Nemesis with Raijin alone can pretty much delete any frontliner.
Tank is safe against this team comp right here. So Losing Road have a very, very terrifying competition for the Poppy story. But luckily, Poppies do have Khepri on their side, so they can negate some of that a bit and deal with a lot of the bursts that Losing Road can pull out. But still, that's a huge threat to the front line.
So now, as the second bans come to a conclusion, Losing Road not wanting to deal with certain mid laners, the Poppies not wanting to deal with certain supports. Obviously, hi-rez is a strong character, stronger so in EU, in my opinion, than NA. A lot more respect for the aggressive supports in the EU scene, and I really like it. hi-rez hasn't necessarily been played a lot in recent history, but he still does offer that scary potential of beads popping. So if you're on the side of the Poppies and you have to deal with constant beads pressure, your backline is not safe just because Nemesis is going to be able to harass them very freely, actually.
Like I said, considering the team comp that Losing Road have, hi-rez would have been a very, very terrifying pickup for them. So I can understand the hi-rez ban away here. Thor hovered on, likely to be locked in as the jungler for the Poppies here because, hey, Thor is a monster. He always will be, and unless we see him get taken super far behind again, I don't think we're going to see a repeat. But instead, Kali hovered on for a potential late-game carry.
Yeah, I mean, the mid laner of choice might be a bit more of a supportive style if they go for something like Kali, just to aid in the hyper damage potential. But I'm really interested in the Sun Wukong on the other side, because now you're looking at a team composition that is deadly terrifying. But Papis is going to lock in the Bellona as well as the Aphrodite. So the Bellona is going to go over to the solo lane to deal with the Sun Wukong, and the Aphrodite is just going to be, quite frankly, annoying. They're putting a lot of their eggs in the basket of just a consistent and powerful team fight from mid-game on, with Aphrodite healing up so consistently and a lot of the backline harass on the Poppies being so potent. It's really difficult, I think, for Losing Road to actually get anything done.
The big goal for the Pogs will be survive the opening burst of Losing Road. As Losing Road, especially with this last lock-in of Sobek, have a great competition for picking people apart and bursting them down. The Papis have to make sure they don't get picked, they don't get bursted, or else it could be GG very, very quickly in a team fight, as Losing Road can just continue to push on through these fights here. But on the other hand, Losing Road have to really worry about their burst falling short. They've got to look for these picks, and going for a straight-up team fight against the Papis without some preparation could be a very difficult proposition for them.
Very smart pick by Losing Road with the Sobek, getting that sickening strike to get a little anti-heal. I think Losing Road, in my opinion, has the stronger team composition. It's so beefy, it's so disgustingly CC heavy that I would not like to be an assassin on the side of the Papis dealing with that. But unfortunately, they have to find a way to get around all of that. And one of the best ways I think they're going to try and do so is utilizing that Khepri ultimate way more aggressively rather than a defensive maneuver. Aphrodite can take care of herself. Rama sort of can take care of himself. Use that ultimate as an aggressive maneuver to possibly set up Susano for more damage, or even Rama, depending on what the situation is, and utilize that potential to eliminate the key characters on the side of Losing Road early on and allow for you to dominate the rest of the team fight after the fact.
Well, either way, it's going to be a bit of a brawl here between these two teams, both returning top 8 from last year. So let's see who holds on enough here, who can push on for the finals win here. Will Losing Road push through for a finals attempt, or will the Papis carry on through for an attempt at a repeat performance from last week? We'll find out soon enough as the Spectre Client finishes counting down. Don't go into the Smite Challenger Cup, brought to you by hi-rez Studios and Tier Monster. We'll be right back. And we are live with the first semifinal game featuring the Papis squaring off against the Losing Road here. Both sides vying for a way into the final series, because whoever gets there has a shot at a ton, and I mean a ton, of seeding points going forward in Challengers Cup here. As 1 or 2 wins is more than enough to put you on a straight path for the top 8.
And as many of you pointed out in chat, it's actually Susano mid. We got so caught up in how many picks were allowed through and how strong both team compositions appeared, we completely neglected the potential of a little bit of rearranging, especially based on how some of these picks went. With Wukong going in the soul lane, that leaves a lot of room for Aphrodite to act. What the
just happened? Wurchi, don't in, abusing that high damage, got out and got a kill. What a massive start of Susano mid. He does it. He does it. That just happened.
I'm disgusted in 2 reasons. One is that now Raijin is just going to get bullied all game solely because he no longer has purple pot. One of the big things he was relying on to help him wave clear, to help him box, to help him bully out this Susano was that purple pot. And now, nope, not gonna. Oh my goodness! Come on, man!
Just look at that damage. Ferritrick has nothing on that right now. Even with Raijin's damage, Wurchi is being so aggressive with it, and he can afford to do. He's got so many ways out of this, and it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I want to hear this probably happen for Raijin, because he just gets bullied out over and over again. Probably not what's happening. He's probably thinking of how he can make it into the later stage of the game without getting absolutely decimated and without crippling his jungler as well as himself. But still, that's just so incredible to see how much actual damage. And this is exactly why Susano has been banned out for most of this tournament, for most of these matches. We haven't seen him used, and this is one of the reasons why. Even outside of his jungle presence and his jungle ability, he has such a high damage potential over in the mid lane. I mean, look right now. He's not even concerned with Nemesis nor Raijin.
And Wurchi's doing an incredible job on him mechanically right there, diving in for these combos and just knowing the amount of damage you can do and abusing that mobility. Honestly, this reminds me a lot of Circuit like the original Circuit. Incredibly mobile, incredibly difficult to lock down, and will absolutely tear you to shreds if you give her even the slightest chance right there. This is honestly what Susano reminds me of. He's a terror for a good reason right now. And it's terrifying, but wonderful to watch, actually.
It's like watching a train wreck.
I guess.
But yeah, no, they didn't really even sacrifice much in the form of putting Aphrodite in the soul lane. And Wukong, I don't think, is necessarily a great matchup for the Aphrodite, but she's building accordingly. She's saying, okay, let me just build kind of tanky, and then I can deal with the pressure from the Jingle Bang and other things like that. And then on top of that, I should still be able to clear effectively. Now, Aphrodite is going to suffer a little bit in the early game, but as it progresses through, she should just be a-okay. And even still, on top of all that, Wukong deals with the same mana consumption issues that she deals with. So all around, they've set themselves up quite nicely to make it to the late game if it gets to that point. I mean, looking at how this game's progressing right now, we might see another pretty aggressive early stomp, but it also could turn into another Scylla matchup where the White Wolves, came back even after Scylla went so far ahead. Over in the dual lane, though.
Yeah, dual lane off to a pretty solid start here. Papis going super aggressive with that ultimate there. David Arnay is gonna actually have it wear off minion. Not gonna do it, but the snipe from Perilla is good right there. Papis off to a massive start right here. Losing Road reeling a bit from this damage here. Need to take a second to collect themselves here. They're not too far down just yet. They're only about 700 gold down right about now. They're at a point where they can control the game a bit more, but it's going to take some effort on their behalf. And a few mistakes from Papis.
The most discouraging part, in my opinion, the most discouraging part for Losing Road is some of the characters you really, really want to aggress on. Some of the ones that you feel like should be so much easier for you to aggress on are completely and utterly protected. Aphrodite, what are you going to do? She's just going to use Undying Love and get out scot-free. And then on top of that, you could get rotated on by Bellona and Susano, for that matter, and completely lose that fight. Okay, are you going to turn your attention over to Rama? Well, he's just as hard to kill, especially with Khepri in lane, using his ultimate to revive Rama if you really put the grind onto him. So there's just no easy route for you to take. The only one that you possibly could consider is the same guy that you're afraid of right now.
Don't gank on. Just don't do it. It's possible here, like right now, we're seeing the damage he brings out here, completely shredding through a target. Nemesis gonna get obliterated right there as Warchi adds another skull to his collection right there. Busy Apple is the one to fall right there, and I mean, you can't gank anywhere right now, it seems, for Losing Road. So realistically, let's take a step back. What do you want to do as Losing Road right now if you can't really find somebody to aggress on?
Not proxy the wave as Sun Wukong is a good start. Interesting choice by him. There's a lot of CC here. If he tries to use 72 transformations to get stunned, that could spell his death, depending on how quickly he goes into his ultimate. But he's still at enough health point to where it's not really going to matter. He's just able to walk out. So that's good on him. But yeah, as far as Losing Road goes, you just have to look for cheeky objective plays. I mean, that's really all you can do. There's no way you can actually afford to hyper invest into any kills on the map right now. It's just not going to happen. Hope for maybe a box 1v1 on the AD carry side, but other than that, nothing really seems that appealing in terms of aggression.
All right. So it's looking like they're going to have to wait a little bit longer in this game. Maybe try to find something as they transition towards the mid game here. But for now, Papis have a very, very firm grasp on this game here. And Losing Road, well, they're off to a good start here. Looking for a pluck on David Arnaz. The burst is real there. But ultimate coming on through. Now Warchi in the party. They're going to finish bursting him down as a four-man squad here. And that's exactly what Losing Road needed just about now. A quick pick, and they're off to a decent little position right here, but Papis looking to find somewhere to spawn. Unity might be in trouble here. Warchi going in for the kill, but he can't quite find his way through. Dash is a bit too deep. Doesn't have anything else. He's bit off a way more than he can shoot right there, but luckily Alex MC buys him a few more seconds here. Dalo coming from the backside here, and Papis gonna make a few mistakes back to back that are going to cost them their lead right there, and a great response from Losing Road will pull them back into the game.
Yeah, they're going to go for the gold here immediately after that. This is a good decision. Go ahead, try to force the issue, maybe get a kill rather than the Gold Fury, but you need to put the pressure on. And they actually are going to get the Gold Fury. Hand of the gods, what? That's actually going to still be used in this time period. Really interesting strategies here by Losing Road. And now they're trying to get the kill. Can they get the snipe? No. Papis is going to get a revenge set of kills, at least onto Sobek. Maybe turn their attention over to the Sun Wukong. Yeah, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they are able to get out their Bellona and now possibly get another kill onto the Nemesis.
Yeah, another one. Looks like the knockout from Warchi is good, and now Unity dives back in to the disaster zone right there. Will stun out David Arnaz, but Arnaz was just waiting for the chance. A double kill for Warchi, and Unity dove into the wrong place, wrong time, beating the War Machine right now. Losing Road made a great play, but unfortunately, I think they lost a bit too much at the end of that one right there.
Oh, they lost way more than too much. Gold Fury was a good call, but after the fact, they were completely decimated by the aggression. And this is the thing that you can definitely tell that both these teams are high veteran class teams. they always look for opportunities. I mean, even though it looked like a bad, okay, we lost the Gold Fury, let's regroup, get some farm, and do something else. Papis recognized, hey, wait, no, we still have high burst damage. Our Susano is still really far ahead, sitting now 4-1. We need to go for this aggressive play. And Bellona acting as the perfect bait material to get everything started. She's been taking so much pressure, and I like this build decision by her. Let's go ahead and get some health under my belt, and also get some kind of backline disruptor in the form of a slow.
And I actually want to call back to the Hand of the Gods right there. You mentioned that you want to see the losing road team go for these objective plays, go to try to be very, very cheeky with them right there. And honestly, I really like Hand of the Gods from this setup right here. They already have a ton of burst damage. Why not focus that burst damage for these gods and have something to get that objective secure? Something that will enable them to go for these big objective plays earlier and with less risk there. Naturally, unfortunately this time around, it didn't really pay off for them, but in theory, it could be a very good idea. However, Papis have responded in kind. Bellona does also have Hand of the Gods right now, so
Wrath.
Losing road.
We gotta call by
its real name. My bad. They both have Wrath.
I'm still trying to get over it. It's been so long since I've seen the item, or excuse me, the relic, that it's a little interesting. But over in the middle lane, a little interesting is going to be this aggressive play by Susano as well as the Khepri. They are going to disengage on both sides. No actual kills achieved by either.
And nothing achieved just yet. Both sides going to get a disengage before anybody can draw a bit too much blood here. And we're releasing the danger and the explosiveness right here. It's like watching two teams try to play rocket tag right there. One misstep is going to lead to a massive explosions right there. As now Papis are going to grip around this mid turret, trying to force some kind of issue here. Gold Fury has a few minutes away, and we are going to see some buffs start to respawn on the other side of the map within another minute or two as well. So we could start seeing one side look to try to get a steal away here, but losing road, setting up to prevent that here and keep a hold over everything they have.
At this point, one of the big factors of this game going forward is going to be when these soul laners come over it towards the middle side, or even the left side of the map, just to start making big plays. The Alex MC doing a great job of keeping the pressure on Sun Kong. Sun Kong still feels inclined to build the Breastplate of Valor to make sure that he has that CDR and the ability to deal with Susano or Nemesis, given that he has to deal with him, but he has sacrificed in any kind of lane presence that he could have had on the Alex MC.
I don't think he's going to have much of a lane presence here against Alex MC already. You're trying to push a boulder uphill with nothing more than a little bit of strength here. He just needs to solid up, be ready for these team fights, and have plenty of cooldown reduction for that crowd control he's going to bring to the table. So I like going for that option since he's not going to do that much anyways here.
So they went to check speed on the right side of the map, Aphrodite and Bellona, and now everyone's making their way back around the map, just looking for the farm opportunities. A lot of ward vision in control of Papis, so they are looking for save plays or just making sure that their AD carry stays safe. They know that he is still one of the weak points of their team as far as who is the easiest to kill between everybody. So they're making sure that he stays nice and alive, keeping all the wards up and active.
And that's exactly what they need right now. It's going to be a game of vision for sure, as both sides have a very, very devastating amount of burst damage available to them at this point in the game here. One person getting caught out, as we've already seen, is a complete disaster. So you got to have the vision up 24/7 at this point here. And information will be key to winning this mid game, I feel.
Gold Fury up now and on the map, so with the vision in favor of Papis for the most part, with the exception of right on the Gold Fury, right at the bottom of the Gold Fury pit. You have to imagine that Papis are going to look to sentry that up and maintain ward control, and then go for the Gold Fury in the nearby future. But moving forward, taking a look at some of these front liners, Wukong, as we mentioned before, went for the Breastplate of Valor, but over on the other side, as the Khepri, he's going for a completely support mindset, has the sovereignty up for his teammates to make sure that there is no chance that they'll die anytime soon. And speaking of frontliners, Aphrodite setting herself up to be one as well. Already has the Warlock Sash nearly completed. She's a focus and lost artifact, so probably going to turn into a Chronos Pendant just to get that maximum amount of CDR under her belt.
And I really like this from the Papis right here. They know they have an almost unbeatable team if they can manage to stay alive through the initial burst here. And they're going to lock, boom, Busy Apple down a little bit here. Not going to be too much damage going on to him just yet here. Warchi did trade a little bit on the Fair Cricket. there, will attempt to knock him up, but going to miss it. However, the dual lanes of the real Axis Hispanify going to get taken down by Perilla right there, but the revenge kill from Unarity is good at there. Fusify going to be forced away by the Aphrodite birds. They're so low on health. Will get a heal up though from his sickening strike, so he's fine and dandy for now. It's a 1-for-1, all considered. Both AD carries are dead. Unarity could be in a rough spot there, but he will manage to charge away in that Ox stance right there. Gonna just look for a camp instead here. Papis want to try to force the issue. They might look to bait here, but Unarity should spot two members moving as he moves to the jungle right here. And Losing Road shouldn't get caught out by this bait here, but one member will be tagged by David Arnaiz right there. Arnaiz needs to bail out as fast as he can. The Warchi shows up to some action. Derek already out of the zone here, as we will see Hispanify coming over for the party as well. Is the apple from the backside. Will look to lock somebody down here. Apollo, where's he gonna land? He's going for Warchi here, but Warchi out of mana, needs to evacuate the dance floor, and he should be fine. Unarity so low. Can they burst down the right one? No, looks like they can't. They've got to back away here. The Papis are risking way too much now since he's gonna get plucked. Does he have enough to stay alive here? Not enough. He's gonna get caught by Khepri and saved them. So the Papis, that's just showing the team comp right there. They have so many ways to get out of jail right there.
That's the thing, is that you could see it after a little while. Once the AD carry was gone on the side of Papis, they just didn't have the damage. I mean, Susano had to back out of the fight completely once he ran out of mana. Didn't have an ultimate, didn't have anything to contribute to the fight. And so once it got to the point where all of their high damage dealers were gone, this is the unfortunate part about having such a frontline / sustained team, is that once your main damage dealers are gone, you got no juice left. You got nothing to secure these kills. Susano going aggressively onto the Sobek might actually be in a troublesome spot. He is going to be able to teleport out. Meanwhile, Nemesis is going to be chasing just a little bit. She's trying to get these mid-harpies. Should go her way. And actually, no, it goes Susano's way, as he's going to now start to chase just a bit. Brings himself right back to the safety of Aphrodite and makes his way back over to the middle lane via a safe route.
And he's going to get some safe farm here as well. So all things considered, actually looking at the gold, this game is incredibly even for a 15-minute game. Papis are down about 400 gold right now to Losing Road, but 400 gold at 15 minutes in is absolutely nothing. The real difference we have to look for will be experience here. Is actually David Arnaiz getting caught out right here. Will lock somebody down, but plucked back quite handily there. Ferricrick will pick up a kill for himself. Now sitting at 2-1-1 and slowly but surely inching his way back into the game.
So the one thing that's really noticeable about Papis' team composition is that they have to operate literally as a giant death ball. They have to be together as a 4 or 5 man group to make full effectiveness out of their team composition. If they don't, they're going to just get picked off slowly one by one, just because of Sobek, just because of the Raijin, just because of the Nemesis. I mean, there's so much pick opportunity on the side of Losing Road that they have to roll together as a giant team. Otherwise, they're going to get punished really hard.
And they've really got to step that vision game if they want people to step away from each other at any point in time here. And now it looks like they're actually trying to play more towards this death ball. Warchi going for his combo. Alex MC steps out a little too far. Is going to have to use the Undying Love, but just gets flucked back in. A knockup from Susano will be good, but Ferricrick already has a way out of this one. Lurking in the walkers, not quite slowing just yet, but a lot of damage going to force Alex MC away from this one. He's looking around on the backside of this one. Daylo will be forced to jump away with the Eagles rally. And now it's a big engaged duel down, but Papis actually looking to keep pushing forward. Warchi back up to full health nearly, but so low on that. Not sure if they keep this one going. They've got a lot of sustain, and they can still just force the issue on this tower. Losing Road going to be forced to back away, and Papis don't even need to win the fight to get the objective.
I really think that Eagles rally could have been the difference between like 3 kills or not. I really want that Eagles rally to be aggressively rather than defensively. Not really trusting the team to keep her alive. Bellona might have caught some of it, but they are going to go for more aggressive plays here. You already see Susano in a bit of trouble, but they're CC locking Nemesis. She's not going to be able to get out of that giant death ball that I was talking about earlier. And it is now 3 versus 5 at the gold proof hit. Not a lot of mana on any member of Papis, so they have to proceed cautiously if they want to go for this objective. Sobek is here. He does not have ultimate available, but he still could CC lock a couple people. They're going to commit onto this. Papis get the gold fury, and now the commitment has been made by the Sun Wukong onto the back line. Meanwhile, Raijin is doing quite a bit of damage onto the Khepri, who pops the ultimate onto himself, as lovebirds were used to keep his health far below a ultimate threshold, and now they're turning their attention over to some Wukong. Health meter still entirely full on the side of Papis, as it looks like a disengage from both sides.
Yeah, meanwhile, Unarity was sitting on critical for a while there. Did get into his ultimate and save himself there, but now the gold and experience has swung towards the Papis quite heavily here. Alex MC gonna get pushed towards Unarity here, and this could be the pick that Losing Road wants to get.
I don't know about that.
Taking a lot of damage here, going to survive for quite a while. Warchi nearly gets the knockup, but Unarity was immune at the time. Juicify getting aggressed on by the low health and low mana. Alex MC right there. The man does not care, is going in with reckless abandon, but will survive just fine here. Same goes for Losing Road. A lot of attempts on each other's lives here, but nothing to show for it just yet here. Perilla looking for the red buff here. Will secure it away from Kispanify, and he walks away a happy and healthy man.
This is one of the most frustrating parts about this death ball, is that Aphrodite has done so much player healing. It's just really difficult to actually do enough damage. She's only at 5,100, but it's been on such key targets that it doesn't even matter if it's not exactly, you know, this outstanding burstful number. It's just made sure that the key persons on her team stay alive.
And it's been incredible. It's been like absolutely very minimal fluff healing. It's all been concentrated on the right people, right time, like you said. And Barracrick has been on the back foot, it seems, pretty consistently. Unable to really aggressively use that teleport here. Who's he going to hit with it? I mean, you can't really aggress on the Aphrodite that well, so she's going to get that free healing right now, and that's the big worrisome part for Losing Road. They need to try to find some kind of response to that, I feel.
Sobek plucking the Khepri. They want to give another huge investment onto this one. Not sure if that's going to be a great idea. Khepri getting down to about 50% health, maybe a little bit less. The ultimate comes out from the Susano. A large rotation coming out from Losing Road as they are all here now and ready to fight. The only person out of position is the Raijin. Ultimate comes out from the Khepri. He's going to be able to survive, but now the rest of his team members are in a bit of a troublesome spot. Susano does make it out. Someone goes into his ultimate. He is going to try and go for the kill onto the Susano, and he gets baited into a bad position, able to kill off David Arnett before he falls. Rama up in the air trying to rank some damage. Aphrodite doing her best to keep her teammates alive as Raijin comes back down onto one of the back members. Aurelia is able to get a kill. There's another one for the Alex MC. Raijin goes up to his ultimate, finds a double kill, and he's gonna look for more. Not gonna be enough. Aurelia finds a double kill of his own. Follow his 1v3. He is able to get Warchi and a triple kill for Aurelia.
What an incredible fight there. The Papis on the back foot for most of it. Hold out long enough. Alex MC putting out incredible healing numbers right there. And what a series of shots from Perilla. Holding on to that fight, staying in it. And thanks to Alex MC, the Papis were able to set up a massive fight. And now there's nobody left to stop them. They can go for this right here on the Fire Giant.
I don't know. It's going to take him quite a bit of time. It depends on how much damage contribution Alex MC can honestly make here, but he does have the healing. I will say they have the sustainability. I just don't think they have the damage numbers, and I think they recognize that. They're going to go ahead and back off.
Yeah, it's a safe call there. Would have been incredibly risky here, and Losing Road know exactly what Papis want to do there. So the good call from Papis is to back away here. Losing Road would have known, should have known, and did know exactly where they would be. So we're going to see a safe reprieve for both sides for now.
So really surprised, taking a look over at the builds from the junglers. Taking a look over at Bellona, she has about what you'd expect from your typical Bellona, minus a little bit of movement speed, a little confused to not see that, especially since she has the Frostbound Hammer. A bit difficult to actually lock down certain targets, especially when Heavenly Agility is a factor. But over on the other side, I would at least expect Nemesis of all people to have some movement speed. I mean, what's your take on this extremely physical defensive build? Do you think it's just exclusively to try and approach the Susano, or I mean, what more to it do you feel there is?
Honestly, I do think it is actually that kind of approach towards Susano and Perilla, as those are the two main damage dealers. It's a good way of dealing with the main damage from the Papis, but unfortunately, I don't think it's paying off enough. The sustain is just too much from the Papis to deal with, and trying to fight the same battle Papis trying to wage against them isn't going to work right there, as we've seen. We saw how a sustained fight ends, and who it ends in favor of, and Losing Road, unfortunately, cannot afford to go for this right there. Granted, you do need some sustainability here. I just don't think this heavy of a defensive build is what we want to see from Busy Apple.
Really surprised also to see lack of anti-heal, only a curse on the side of Losing Road. They don't have a, a Divine Ruin. They don't have anything really to try and mitigate some of these heals.
Yeah, we don't see like the Beat Stick, the Divine Ruin, or even a Pestilence or anything. We don't see any of those items coming out here to deal with this Aphrodite here, and that's the big surprising part here. I think it actually might have made enough of the difference in that last fight to deal with it, as Busy Apple going to get knocked up by the Typhoon from Warchi there. Will escape with his life there, as the entire squad of Losing Road is in position and ready to fight this one out here. they're not going to go down without a fierce battle here. And Papis know that. Now looking for Fuse the Fire right here, gets a three-man tail whip and will knock him out of it. Now Delo in deep here, looking to deal some damage here. Will go aggressive on the Ferric here as the rest of his team will look to engage in the backline. Papis on a full retreat for the backline here. A lot of damage from Fuse the Fire, but now instead he's getting aggressed on. Orchi will finish him off here, and another defensive Eagle victory. But the Papis going to rally around this one, and ultimate being put onto Orchi right there will dissuade and buy enough time, and he's way too fast as now Perilla joins the party. He's synced up with Alex MC, and Losing Road
It's so
going
annoying.
disengaged. You can't fight him when that happens, and the smart call from Losing Road completely disengaged when you see that happen.
So the fight went completely in favor of Papis. They got one kill, didn't lose anybody, lost a couple of cooldowns, might be able to pick up something more here. In the middle lane is actually Oxform is going to be able to get some Wukong into a safe distance away from the enemy team. And there's the mana regen from the Aphrodite, allowing for Warchi to possibly get a little bit more damage onto someone else. Oh, but Raijin might have put himself in a bad spot. He's going to be taken out immediately. I don't know if Aphrodite can keep her good guy, Rama, alive. He's going to roll out, get killed off immediately by the Apollo, and now the fight is going to go a little sour for Papis, but they were able to still get more out of their investment, I feel, than their opponent's Losing Road.
Yeah, and now they will put a little bit of pressure on this mid lane tower. They probably won't get it here, but they can definitely start to put the pressure up, and maybe if somebody makes a mistake, take down Losing Road right here. Unity takes a fistful of birds at their Fusify, going to pluck absolutely nothing right there. Dalo looking for blood, and he might just find it here.
Rally.
He will find it. Eagles Rally finally used aggressively, will claim blood right there, as now Unity and Busy Apple so low. Here comes Warchi though for the cleanup, and he will get knocked aside here as Dalo finds his double kill. Knocked back is everybody by Warchi, sucking them in for the fight right there. Busy Apple going to pop her shield to survive. Warchi claims once more another skull for the Skull Throne, and Caspanify going to fall at the end of the day. The Tycho Drum dealing out one final shot to finish off Warchi right there, and the Weed Battle of the Century will go in favor of Ferric right there, as now Alex MC, David Arnaz, and Dalo last man standing around this tower here, with Ferric more than enough wave clear able to clear out those minion waves. Probably not going to see it fall.
Oh man, the only thing saving Losing Road right now is that they are able to take out some of the priority targets before all of their own team members die. It's so frustrating and so difficult to be some of these other characters just trying to make a big play. I mean, specifically Nemesis died 5 times, no kills to her favor, but 8 assists. She's been doing a good job of doing that role that we talked about earlier when Thor was struggling, of just being the CC / debuff character for the team. The one downside she's having right now is that Nemesis operates a little bit differently than Thor, doesn't offer enough hard CC to really justify exclusively going into that tankier build.
And that's going to be the real problem for Losing Road as they phase on forward here. Granted, once they start to get some of their own items online, they can really start taking heavy advantage of Nemesis completely shredding somebody away, but until then, it's going to be a rough stretch. However, Losing Road have been holding out quite nicely considering how far ahead we saw Susano and Perilla get so far. So I think they've got a legitimate shot at holding on to this game here, but the Papis are in an amazing position to run away with this one if they want to. As we near the very late game position here, we're going to see most of the core builds be nearly complete here, and looking mostly for luxury items now, Shadowboy. And where do you expect these items to go as we near these final 2 items?
So, taking a look at one of the, I guess, the MVPs of the game in the form of Susano, let's take a look at the build here. Most people probably haven't seen a mid Susano. I mean, Warrior Tabi, Jotun's Wrath, Breastplate of Valor, Titan's Bane, working on another mace. It looks like the whole theme of this build is cooldown and penetration.
And I mean, that's one of the big things he wants to go for here. There's some decently tanky members of Losing Road that he can shred through right here, and anybody who's not tanky is going to be taking nearly true damage from him. So, realistically, he's going to be dealing tons and tons of damage no matter who he hits right now. And with all of his abilities as well, he's going to be ripping through the line.
Over near the Gold Fury, they have the vision. They want to take this objective. It is a lot easier of an objective on Fire Giant. And, so far, it's been a little difficult for them to actually push down the Tier 1 tower over in the dual lane. And Susano acting as bait while two members of Papis take the Gold Fury. This bait might have actually worked here. Now they're going to have to back off the Gold Fury. However, it was sniffed out. They didn't see all the members of Papis, so they want to make sure that nothing bad happens. This might have allowed for the Papis to go aggressively onto other members of the team, however, as Raijin was immediately forced out of the fight.
Yeah, full retreat from the losing road squad right here as Papis now able to successfully take this Gold Fury or ban out a good fight here. We do see Warchi and Perillo waiting in the wings here. They will likely get spotted here. Warchi looking to go on Busy Apple right there, will tag him with the Storm, but Busy Apple already out of the action here, will double dash away to safety. And Poppy just looking for something, anything, any blood they can catch is what they want right here. As Perillo will just duo out that Gold Fury with Aphrodite right there. Alex MC sees it's taken care of and will look to rejoin his team right now. It looks like Losing Road looking to try to make some kind of aggressive movement here. Papis do get the Gold Fury right there. Gonna be checked out by Fusify, and he will see it's down Unarity though. In the middle of everybody will Ox dance on through the zone and take a bunch of people up in the air with him. Now looking to lock him down a bit, slowed out by Ram's slow right there. His arrow's doing a lot of work there, forcing that ultimate. As now Poppy's waiting just below. They smell the blood and they want to take even more.
Woo! They are still looking healthy and ready to go. Just took the Gold Fury, and you'd almost imagine they just came out of base. Full mana bars and a lot of characters, and full health bars entirely. There is nothing easy about approaching this death ball that is the Papis. But they're walking into tower. An answer has to be found by Losing Road. Otherwise, this could be a detrimental fight as Susano goes in for the big play, ceasing a lot of members of the enemy team. Now the fight really kickstarts. Oh, but Khepri has the ultimate onto the Susano. They're going to be able to keep him alive as Fusify is already taken out of the fight. Front line already looking a little weak. Aphrodite leading the charge, healing up the Bellona, and Rama going for the snipe. The last hit not going to land, but they've already done the damage. A very battered and bruised Losing Road trying to defend a Phoenix with only a Nemesis.
Yeah, and that initial dive worked wonders for the Poppies right there. They dove in. We saw a lot of heavy cooldowns get eaten up by absolutely nothing right there. And Poppies were able to turn around, find the re-engage with their own set of ultimates there, and just completely exploded that fight. Now, Losing Road just didn't seem to be able to pop the major team fight winning ultimate at the proper time for themselves here. Now, Busy Apple gonna get aggressed on by Dalo and friends here. David Arnea is completely dragging Unarity out of the action here. Unarity's still trying to find, well, Warchi right there, but it might not work out for him. Goes up into his ultimate here. He might try to go aggressive, but he's most likely just looking for a way out here. He will go aggressive to Warchi, but immediately knocked up by the Typhoon. Warchi claims once more another victim here, as now Busy Apple needs to dash away, and he will get out of this one here, but they've already lost to Phoenix, and they've lost several kills here. Losing Road in a bit of a painful situation here, and they might just be on the losing road right now.
I feel like the back here by the Poppies is a good call. Go ahead, get some key items, but I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's been like 6 minutes since I've seen Losing Road get a kill. That's just phenomenal. The amount of sustainability on the side of Papis is ridiculous. It's so hard to actually land a kill onto Susano. How can you justify for a single moment that Susano is able to dive under tower, see 4 people, and then jump right back out, get down to less than 5% health, make it through that fight, and only has 3 deaths for the entire game? That is ridiculous. That is absolutely mind-boggling. But that is the reality for Losing Road. They have to find an answer. And they've started to put together the pieces. They've got the Brawler Stick. They've got the Pestilence. They've got the Weakening Curse. Unfortunately, they probably need a second one just to have these extended fights. But they've got to work with the pieces they've been given. And so far, losing this Sobek right now is not a good start.
They're trying to complete a puzzle, and they don't quite have all the pieces just yet, but they're slowly but surely digging them up out of the floor and from all around the house, and they've got a chance at it, but it's going to be incredibly difficult here. Spanify going to get completely caught out. Warchi dove in for the fight now, and Dalo going to look to finish the job here. Won't find it with the Eagles Rally, but will find it with a quick auto attack there. And with 2 members down, the Poppies can look to go super aggressive here. Busy Apple double dashes away to somewhat safety here, as now Perillo just going to look to aggress on. Just ran in a few arrows there, each of them slowing right there. Gonna take quite a bit of damage from Farrakirk right there, and that could be the big hope they have right now, but it's just not enough right now, as Fire Giant is called by the Poppies, and they should be able to secure it here. We do see Unarity around the corner, and I I think they've got to know this is happening on the side of Losing Road, but can they do anything is the question. Can the miracle happen? Unarity, he's waiting in the wings, but so is the rest of the Papis here, and they will secure the Fire Giant. Now, we're going to see David Arnaiz pull him in. Unarity dashes on through with the Ox Dance, but Warchi, hot on his heels, the quick knock should lock him down, and the ultimate not going to channel through nearly fast enough here. A surrender vote is called, as I think that actually is going to be the final nail in the coffin, barring a miracle for Losing Road. This is just a painful spot for them right now.
It's probably the end of the game. I don't really see them having a good chance of coming back down 10k gold with such a high sustainability team. You've locked up all of your relic spots in case you wanted to try and make a swing back play with like double weakening curse. I do like the Wrath on the Nemesis, especially since she's the jungler. She can easily get in and get out of the Gold Fury Pit or Fire Giant Pit or whatever, but they just haven't gotten anything out of it. They got one use out of it, really, and that's been about it. The fight is going to break out under Phoenix, and Warchi able to get Fusify while the rest of his team is just going at it right near the Titan. They've actually been diving so hard onto the enemy team. They might wait for the middle Phoenix to come up, but I don't think that's going to be the decision. They're just going to go right for the kill, nearly get it onto a... Oh, yep, there it is. That's going to be a dead Apollo. Meanwhile, the rest of them are going to hoard around this Titan, probably take it out. And that's going to be game going over to Papis, decisively taking this one, as they've done a fantastic job of organizing this team composition. They had a strategy. They blew us all out of the water in terms of what we expected with getting that first blood with Warchi and then rolling on through after that.
And I don't think we've really stated this part at all or enough at all. They completely caught Losing Road off guard with that mid Susano by Warchi. It looked like they expected it in the jungle, maybe the solo lane, but Warchi bringing out Susano in the mid lane just completely seemed to just dumpster Ferric early on, and I hate to say it like that. He had an incredibly tough time. He held out quite nicely in the late game, but all in all, this is just an incredible draft from the Papis, pulling through to win the game, and Losing Road will unfortunately move on to the third place matchup, but pretty impressive for them.
Ooh, that's hurtful.
It hurts. I mean, it hurts to lose a team. Like, this is an incredibly frustrating team comp to deal with, and I feel kind of bad.
Okay, well,
Papis did a great draft.
Yeah, this is a great draft. I think this was won mostly at the picks phase. There's a couple of things that could have been done to possibly mitigate what they were up against. Maybe Circuit pick just to try and isolate certain targets. You've already got the Sobek. You've already got the Raijin. Might as well finish off the pick composition with something to go ahead and eliminate some of these characters. Maybe even something like a Thanatos to have an execution kill to kind of knock out some of these characters, especially the Khepri. So there was a lot of different things that they possibly could have tried to alter how this game turned out. But all in all, I still got to give credit over to the Papis. They had a strategy. They went with it. They did it darn near perfectly. A lot of credit actually to the hidden amount of CC that we just didn't talk about in the early stages of the game, or we didn't talk about in the picks. On top of trying to deal with the healing, on top of the sustain, the CC amount was just phenomenal. I mean, Susano, Aphrodite with her 2 forms of CC, Khepri with his few forms of CC, and Bellona, of course, with the slow and the Eagles rally. It was so hard. And then on top of that, a Scourge, like there was not many answers that Losing Road could find. So this is something to take note of, move on to next week, and improve on. I think Losing Road is still a fantastic team. I'm happy to have seen them come out, and I'm happy to have seen them fight as hard as they did this game.
And I don't think they're going to be upset at all with the 3rd or 4th place finish this week. I mean, that's going to be a lot of seed points here. And remember, like I said, this is only week 2 of the Challengers Cup. This is where we start to see the best of the best clash with each other. And this is another one of the matches I'm really excited to see in the future here, as Papis will move on to the grand finals. But we're about ready to go with those, so do stay tuned. This is the Tier Monster Challenger Cup, brought to you by hi-rez Studios and Tier Monster. We'll be right back with more action soon enough.